Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to In a Nutshell, where I go over the absolute basics to get you started on a character. Today we'll be talking about my favorite character in Dragon Ball, Sassy with a sweet tooth, the Vore Queen herself, Android 21. 5L, pretty standard, good for staggers, combos into itself twice. Hurdle combo's pretty simple, nothing really to write home about. 5M, one of her best neutral tools, you're going to be using this a lot, one of her best pokes, and can stagger into 2M. 5H, pretty standard 5H, goes relatively far. 5S, incredibly good projectile, really fast and has very low recovery. 2L, very good, far-reaching 2L, changed into itself twice. 2M, one of her other best neutral tools, almost hits round start, goes decently far, and is great for clipping ankles of people trying to jump out. 3M, the same thing as 2M, but it's a little slower, but goes 3/4 of the screen, so great for trying to catch people's ankles from full screen. 2H, really good anti-air, reaches very high up, one of her best TOD starters. However, do keep in mind that if you are in the corner, it does push her out slightly, so sometimes if an opponent's trying to jump over you, then it might whiff. 2S, one of her best zoning tools, it hits most of the screen, it has very low recovery, and also can be used for corner resets if you're trying to be cheeky. 6M, just a standard 6M. JL is a very, very good air-to-air tool. It hits very high, but because it does hit high, it's not very great for mix-up, like so. JM is a very, very far-reaching normal. The end of the great neutral trifecta that she has can be used to catch opponents sneakily after Super Dash because of how far it reaches, and also is great for IAD cross-ups because it does hit point blank. It's very, very good. JH, which is the pizza cutter, very, very big normal, can be used in cross-ups in some situations, like so. Very big normal. JS, the same thing as her 2S, but it's in the air. J2H, the same thing as her 2H, but it's in the air. Great, moving on to specials. Starting with Total Detonation Ball. This is a great beam projectile that can be angled up. The EX version is +1 on block, as you can see on the left side of the screen. And depending on how many stocks you have, it will increase in plus frames. And it goes from 1 to 5 to 10 to 15, and finally up to 20. And these are also extremely easy to combo off of the higher they go up, for example. Really, really good. Next is Hors d'oeuvre Stab, aka the Dive Bomb. Very good for throwing out round start, very easy to combo into with certain assists, and is going to basically be her primary method on, you know, either extending or ending combos. Depending on where you hit, the smash property of it makes it very easy to confirm in neutral. So for example, if I'm like really high up here and I just dive, oh hey look, I confirmed. And if I have a proper assist to go with Android 21, then oh look, cool, free combo. So yeah, use it that way. The EX version does always give a combo and can also be used after Super Dash. So if you Super Dash and get a straight hit, then just use EX to extend your combo more. And last is going to be her Connoisseur Cut. This is her command grab that does steal stocks from the opponent that can later be used against them. The air version is very good for sniping opponents out of the air. It's not nearly as good as Broly's, but it does get the job done in certain situations. You can use the grounded version for scooping people up as well. So yeah, pretty good. Okay, now with all the supers out of the way, we are going to go over all of her absorb abilities, which she has 8 of, so let's just jump into it. Starting off with the blue stocks. These are stocks that you can get from the Goku family tree, I guess you can call it. That includes like Gohan and like other characters like Videl, the humans like Krillin and Yamcha and stuff like that. Of course, everybody's favorite, the beam, Kamehameha. Very, very good. I mean, what can you say? It's just like everybody has one and she has one too, so great to just throw out in neutral. Moving on to the Solar Flare. Very similar to Crohn's. You can use it to catch up-techs, and you can also use it as sort of an anti-air for Super Dash, and you can, in fact, use it to stuff out any 2H attempts. So if you Super Dash, you can just Solar Flare, prevent them from 2Hing you, and get away with murder. Yeah. One of my primary uses for Solar Flare is that you can use it to combo after your Kamehameha, which makes her incredibly deadly at the zoning game because she just gets a free combo and does a lot of good damage. Before we start, I do just want to note that all of her abilities can be comboed after using Connoisseur Cut, depending on positioning on the screen and which special move that you use, which means that any stray hit that she gets in neutral can end up being devastating if used correctly. Moving on to the yellow stocks. Now, these are stocks that can be stolen from the Vegeta family line, so that includes any of the Vegetas, Nappa, Trunks, I believe Gogeta, and stuff like that, so yeah. Starting with Concussive Energy Blast. This is kind of a slightly worse Vegeta's 236S. It can be super dashed through entirely, so do keep that in mind. However, if you are big brain, then you can use that to your advantage and then bait it. Moving on to Sticky Energy Blast. This is a command grab that only hits standing and air opponents. Now, you might think that's not very good. Well, it also is frame 1 air invul. It acts as a 2H, so it's very good if you want to counter zone your opponent. Next, you have the green stocks, which are grabbed from the androids. That includes Android 21, Cell, Android 18, 16, 17, all those alike. Starting with Explosive Energy Blast. This is a Gohan-esque style blast that you shoot 2 projectiles down and they explode. It is going to be plus 10 on block, plus 10, 11 on block. However, very similar to Gohan's, it can be super dashed through, so do be careful. However, the recovery is high enough that even if you were to use it point blank, you still can block. So it can be used to... Wow, that was weird. It can be used to bait super dashes if you use the die follow-up. Moving on to Barrier Sphere. This is obviously an Android 18 style barrier. It can be used in the same vein as in absorbing projectiles and, of course, baiting super dash or blocking super dash, excuse me. And what makes it very good is that you can immediately dive right after, so unlike Android 18s, you do have offensive capabilities directly after. And now last, but especially not least, is going to be the purple stocks, which you can get from the aliens such as Ginyu, Kid Buu, Fat Buu, I think Janemba, and Frieza, and Piccolo. And probably somebody else that I'm forgetting, but yeah. Homing Energy Blast. This is the Piccolo-esque style beam. It just slowly tracks to your opponent. It is just auto-neutral button. Very, very good. And finally, last but definitely not least, is Sonic Warp. This is a much better teleport than anybody's in the game. Immediately tracks to wherever your opponent is behind them, and she is allowed air movement directly after, which allows her to set up for some pretty nasty mix-ups. It also steals the corner, so do keep in mind if you are defending against her that you do need to block cross-up, and if you are her, then you're having a really fun time really mixing your opponent up. And that does it for all of her absorbed abilities. Be sure to lab these out a lot. There are a lot of very niche situations that they can be used in, and it pretty much changes the way she plays matchups as a whole. So with that in mind, let's move on to her assist. Starting with her A assist, Total Detonation Ball. I mean, it's a very, very strong beam. It's very easy to combo after. Pops the opponent up. Good hit stun. Good block stun. Overall, very, very good. Moving on to B assist, that would be her hors d'oeuvre stab. It is sort of a Kid Buu bounce-esque style assist. It does hit a good distance in front of you and can catch the opponent if you're sort of doing a run cross-up sort of deal. Good combo assist, but honestly, I would rather just use A assist. Please just use A assist because it is not that as good. And lastly, we have her C assist, which is Snack Time, a standard C assist that tracks to the opponent. The second hit hits surprisingly high up, so it can clip the opponent in the air, and it is a block stun assist, so it is going to be plus 50 on block, which allows certain characters to get really, really good mix-ups off of it. Overall, very good assist. Moving on to her supers. Starting out with Photon Wave, this is going to be her standard combo ending super. It does a surprisingly high amount of damage for a level 1, so it is definitely good if you are trying to play a very strong, bursty style team. Moving on to her grounded level 3 Sweet Tooth. This is the weaker of her 2 level 3s. However, what it does lack in damage, it does give her in utility, giving her full stocks, which means that her next detonation ball is, or the EX detonation ball is going to be plus 20 on block and very, very easy to confirm off of. And it also puts her in a perfect situation to get an instant air dash, a super jump instant air dash JH cross up, which I'm not very good at, but yes, you can do that if you lab it out. I will show you here. Something like that. I'm not going to sit here and do this all day. And finally, ending it with her air level 3. This is excellent full course. This is her strongest of the 2 level 3s, and actually a very, very strong level 3. And it also grants a pretty decent amount of corner carry if you are trying to push your opponent into the corner, or at least close to it, for example. Especially if you're in the air, it does do that extra dive, so it is good in that sense, if you want to use it that way. Okay, and that is going to do it for all of her normal, special, supers, and all the like. Now for everybody's favorite, and what you're probably here for, is her combos. Now again, just a disclaimer, these are my combos. I know that there might be better ones, but these are the ones that I use. These are the ones that I find success with. So please, I don't want to hear in the comment section, hey, but why didn't you do this? Hey, but what about this confirm? What about that confirm? Well, if you know about that confirm, then why don't you just do it? Okay, cool, great. Let's move on. Before we jump into the combos, I do want to just say that in terms of Ender, her hors d'oeuvre stab does not do a hard knockdown. It does a sort of air style knockdown. So you are going to want to use either an assist in order to get a knockdown, assist Dragon Rush, or you can go for a level 1 style knockdown if you want the Sonic Fox special, or you can go for some stuff like this to do your own Air Dragon Rush. There are some answers, for example, in the corner. This is an answer that I've recently taken a liking to. Because hors d'oeuvre stab does do a sliding knockdown. However, I mean, it is a little tricky to combo into. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick disclaimer. I will not be doing any specific combo enders for my combos moving forward. This is our standard mid-screen, very straightforward, simple and easy. It gets a stock. You can just omit the hors d'oeuvre stab if you already have a stock, and just go straight for, oh, I'm sorry, not hors d'oeuvre stab, but you can omit the grab if you already have a stock and just go for hors d'oeuvre stab. That is going to be her mid-screen re-jump combo. If you are close to the corner, you can get those juicy JH reps, but if you are not, then you can just go for the standard, you know, bread and butter. That is an example of the regular full screen, if you're not close to the corner, re-jump combo. That is her standard corner combo. That is a bit of a more optimized corner combo. And that is an example of her re-jump corner combo. That is an example of a 2H confirm with 2 assists. That's an example of if you get a command grab and want to confirm solo. That's an example of if you get a random hors d'oeuvre stab in neutral and have a proper assist to combo off of. That's an example of if you have a full screen Kamehameha beam confirm. It does a lot of damage. That was almost 4K. Pretty ridiculous. An example of a super dash confirm if you want to cash out with EX hors d'oeuvre stat. And last but not least, just showing an example of a 2-stock combo. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for your boy today. I hope you learned something. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop it in the comment section down below. Or you can ask me in person on my live stream, twitch.tv/TheJRivera. Check me out there. I will put up a notification as to when I stream next. That will be in future videos to come. So come through, you know, have fun. It's a good time. I really enjoy interacting with y'all. And yeah, that's going to do it for me today. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.